Hey everybody, how's it going? Come on in. Everybody's welcome. Relax. I started making these videos just so I could talk to you guys. It's been a while since I've seen a lot of you folks. Some of you probably remember me from my music days. I'd go around and we had crazy conversations all hours of the evening and all that. Um, and I kind of miss it. I miss being able to talk to people more than anything. So I just thought I'd start making these videos again and try to keep them on a positive note. You know, I'm one of those guys that I doom scroll. I watch most of my information and the things that I watch is all on YouTube. And man, is it negative everywhere you look. I watch a lot of news and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff is just super negative. And I just was thinking, there needs to be more content out here that's just on a positive note. And so I just started looking at that, and it just seems like it's hard to find, especially like the algorithms that they talk about. They just start pushing everything to you that's the same, I guess. And I'm, like I said, I'm a doom scroller, so they just give me more of what I want to see, I suppose. But it ends up being a bunch of negative crap, and so I thought I'd try to put something out here positive. And so, like today, I'd like to talk about happiness, and so that's one of the things I did. I just went to YouTube and typed in happiness, and just to see what came up. And um, there's some stuff on there, man. You got to look for it. It's not like they just have a bunch of happy stuff on YouTube. It's crazy. But so I found one guy that says the only people that are really happy in life are psychopaths because they have no emotional attachment to anything, and dead people for obvious reasons. And I was like, really, dude? Come on. I mean, there's more to life than that. But anyway, so then there's another guy on there. He's a Harvard professor, and he does a whole class on happiness. Ivy League school, and he's teaching happiness. It just blew my mind. So he's giving you all the clinical reasons why you should be happy and why you're not, and all that. It's just like, wow. So it's not that tough. But at the same time, I get it because, I mean, everybody's been through hard times, myself included. And, that's the kind of stuff I want to talk about is like the hard times that everybody's been through. I mean, I've been through addiction, lost a lot of loved ones, depression, anxiety. Man, I used to be the worry wart. Just worry about everything that is out of your control, but I'd still worry about it. And then people would be like, "Oh, don't worry." Well, yeah, that works. Just turn that off. But it's just crazy how things are. So then I started thinking. So if I were to ask a couple questions to somebody, when I ask questions to myself, are you happy? So if you are happy, great. If you're not happy, why? And if you are happy, why are you happy? What makes you happy? And really, I guess if somebody's already figured things out and they're in a good place, it's their energy is pretty high to where it's hard to bring somebody down when they're already happy. If you got $1,000,000 in the bank, it's going to be hard to piss you off. You're going to be a pretty happy guy. But most of us aren't in that category. So throughout the day, you can do things to make yourself happy and bring your energy level up. A lot of different ways to do that, and we can talk about that. I mean, that's how I figured a lot of things out. Was just going through hard times and searching within. Getting off the alcohol and drugs. That's a big part of it. And we can talk about that. If anybody wants to talk about addiction, I'm here for it. Anybody wants to talk about anxiety and depression, I'm here for that too, man. I've been down all those roads, and I don't have all the answers. I mean, I'm no scholar, I'm not going to get real biblical on you. I mean, I've read some of the Bible, but I'm no biblical scholar by any means. And a lot of times once you start talking about religion and stuff, people turn off anyway. You know, that's not going to help anybody if they're not going to be able to listen to it. So that's kind of, I just want to have some discussions about it and about whatever you guys want to talk about. But if you just would have to let me know in the comments, like, what do you want to talk about? And we'll have that conversation. Eventually, I like for these videos to go live and we can just have a conversation. That's my whole goal or whatever. And so I when I first started messing with this stuff, I was like, let's see, I'll have to script this out and you know, and have a intro and then a beginning, middle, and end, and these are the questions I want to ask, and these are the things I want to, you know, man, that ain't me. You guys, anybody that knows me knows that that just ain't me. So I'd rather just talk, you know, just have a conversation. We're normal people. We're all in it together, you know. I mean, we all feel like we're alone when you go through those tough times, but you're not. I mean, that's one of the big things I had to realize, you know, I'm not the only one going through this stuff. Everybody has their challenges, and the minute you think that you're the only one, you know, you're just completely wrong. There's hundreds, thousands of people out here doing the same thing that you're doing, and it's like so easy for us to get caught up in all the negativity and the crap that brings you down, and then your own brain is your biggest enemy, really. I mean, you start thinking and overthinking. That was my problem. That's one of my problems, and it's a constant battle you have to deal with, just fighting back all your own negative energy and your own brain, your own thoughts. You know, so that's where I'm kind of coming from. You know, I was just wanting to talk about happiness for a minute, like what makes you happy, what doesn't. And so if you're not happy, what would make you happy? You know, you think about that. Would it be the promotion? Would it be the house, the new house, the big house, the new car? Whatever it is you're working towards, is that what's going to make you happy? So then I start thinking, okay, let's just say it's well, if I had a new car and I had that dream house and $1 million in the bank, would I be happy? Yeah, that would make me happy. Well, what is it about that makes you happy? Security, a roof over your head, a really cool car. I mean, accomplishments. What is it that's your driving force that you think will make you happy? And then you also got to stop and think, do I already have some of those things? I've got a roof over my head. I'm not starving. You're surrounded by people that love you. You know, at the end of the day, you can't take those things that you get. You know, let's just say you have the big house and the fancy car. You can't take them with you. If you're laying on your deathbed and you're surrounded by loved ones that are going to be sad to see you go and all that, you're not going to think about, well, at least I got a nice house. You know, at least my car's cool. Who gives a shit about any of that? It's just amazing how our brains think that that's going to be the answer to your problems. You know, it just blows my mind sometimes how we get in our own way. You know, but like I said, let me know your thoughts. You know, let me hear your side of it. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? I mean, that list can be long, super long. People can come up with things that make you sad all day long, but they can't come up with 10 things that make them happy. You know, that's one of the things that I've realized, that if you can start your day, which I've made a video about, you know, starting your day off with positivity, and that's absolutely true. But if you could start your day every day listing those 10 things that make you happy before you have another thought in your head. You wake up in the morning, immediately think, these 10 things make me super happy. And they put a smile on my face. If that could be your first thought of the day, you're already ahead of the game. I mean, it's just mindset, really, more than anything. And like I said, I've been through a bunch of stuff, so it seems like when you go through hard times, you learn more or whatever. So that's kind of where this last little bit of my sanity came from, was some tough times, and made me really start thinking about myself. I kept getting caught up in the thought kept coming to me that was like, I can't enjoy the now. I can have great memories and think about, oh, those were cool times and that was a good thing and all that. And I could look forward to stuff, man, I can't wait till this happens. But I can't enjoy right now. For some reason, man, I was just hung up on that. And then overthinking everything. And so I just started going down that road and decided, one thing led to another, really, with trying to find answers. And the biggest thing that helps me, and I think would help anybody, is meditation. And as soon as you say meditation, people like turn off. Like, yep, we're done. This woo-woo garbage I'm not listening to. But, it's meditation, the word is just putting a label on it. We all do it. And I know all my friends out here, we've all sat around a bonfire. And we've all stared at the fire. I used to call it the hillbilly TV. You stare at that fire and you get in that trance-like state. You can be having a conversation with your friend sitting next to you, and you're just kind of zoned out. That's meditation. We've all done it. That's the state you need to do on a regular basis. I recommend doing it every day. And there's 100 different ways to get to that state. But that zoned out, not thinking, is where you need to do. That's where you get all your answers. That's the thing that I've discovered more than anything is I already had all the answers. My brain's too busy to stop and realize that. It took a while, but I'm in a way better place now, man. And that's the thing. All those years, I'd be out running around and having fun, but wasn't happy at the same time. It's just crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And then so I had all these things going on in the background that most of you may not know about, but we can go down those roads as we go here. A lot of things that cause your depression, losing loved ones and losing friends and just all the things that take you down that road. But that if you can stop for a minute and not drown your sorrows like I was doing, running away from your problems, basically, if you can stop for a minute and just turn everything off, you'll find the answers. You've got them right inside your own skull. You just can't tap into them because your brain's too busy. And you're not your brain. You're not your thoughts. When you turn everything off and you're zoning out, that's you. That's you at your core. That's your being. So, I don't know, without getting too much deeper or whatever, like I said, I want you guys to give me some feedback, man. Let's have a conversation. I'm not super tech savvy, so I haven't figured out the whole live thing yet. But once I figure that out, I want to start going live and actually have some talks. We can keep in touch on Facebook, but we can't really have conversations like we used to. And I don't want to go hang out in a bar and have conversations. I mean, we could, I guess. If somebody wants to meet up, that's cool too. But I don't drink anymore, so hanging out in a bar really doesn't have much appeal to me. And we could meet somewhere and have lunch, but I want to have some conversation. I miss you guys. So, like I said before, if you're going through a tough time, man, just remember you're not in it alone. I'm here for you. Um, I feel like I was asking for to be healed because I was in a really bad place for a while, and I made a promise if I got healed up, I would try to help everybody else heal up. And I think as a collective effort, we can all lift each other up. So if this is helpful, man, let me know. And like I said, I'd like to talk to you guys. We're all in it together, so let's have a talk. All right, see you guys. See you next time.